The holiday shopping season is fast approaching, and a report says the vast majority of Canadians plan on spending less this year. From where we are joined by money expert Rubina Ahmed-Haq. All right, Rubina, Pricewaterhouse says 80% of us planning to buy less, but also want to buy Canadian. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, the average Canadian family expects to spend $1,675 this holiday season, and that is down from last year. Younger Canadians actually saying they're going to spend even less than that, and they're citing reasons that we already know: housing, affordability, interest rates, the cost of groceries. Everything is really weighing in on the spend for this holiday season. And another shift, which this survey found, is that we're really looking at buying Canadian. So even in some cases where some item may be slightly higher, they would prefer to buy Canadian because they want to support this movement that started during when the Trump tariffs were first announced. So that's something to look forward to. And I think it's really great that we already are thinking about our budget 2 months plus before the holidays, the big day actually comes.
Rubina, you're so good at this. Do you have any strategies to help families stretch that holiday budget?
Yeah, I really tried to think out of the box this time because I didn't want to give the typical make a list and make a budget and, keep yourself in check. One is stack your savings. So there's a lot of cashback credit cards. There's days where you can get extra bonus cashback. So really look at that going forward to see, Rakuten is one company where if you buy through that website, you get a little bit of cashback. So you're going to be doing the shopping anyways. I'm not a huge fan of, shop to save. But if you're going to be doing the shopping anyways, really take advantage of these sites that offer a cashback, and also take advantage of those loyalty points, especially if you've been saving them all year. There are a lot of times where you can go into department stores or into drugstores and buy items that are really great gifts for your friends and family. And this is points you've already earned. It's just sitting there waiting for you to cash it in.
All right, good advice.
Yeah.
Rubina, I
wanted to give you actually two quick other ones. Sorry, I got a little bit carried away. Very quickly, the other one is rather than swap gifts, swap skills. So for example, if you're really good at organizing your closet, you could offer your friend, in March, I'm going to come and help you do a big spring clean. If you're good at gardening, you could offer to do the same. So rather than saying, here's a gift that I spent money on, here's a gift of my skill. And that is also going to save a little bit of money because you're not going to be spending anything, and you get to spend time with your family and friends, and you look forward to it whenever it's going to happen in the future.
All right, that's genius. Can you come to my house and organize my house?
I'm wondering what our swaps.
You're good at organization.
We're gonna think about that one. Get back to each other. All right. Trump's tariffs on softwood lumber and timber imports came into effect yesterday. Who will this likely impact the most? Who will feel it the most?
Well, in the end, it's the Canadian consumer. The tariffs that have come in are really affecting, especially someone who is renovating in the next little while. So kitchen cabinets, upholstered furniture, lumber. And so the concern now is that this cost is going to be eventually passed on to consumers. So it could be in two ways. One, it could be passed on to the American consumer, where we're exporting stuff into the country. And so that stuff is being tariffed. And so when it finally reaches the customer, they will pay more for it. And it also means less business for Canadian companies that produce these items. And so they will increase their prices in order to deal with the shortfall of items they might have sold into the United States. And so this is not good news, especially with an affordability crisis, a housing crisis, where a lot of us are looking at how developers are going to make more homes. But if it gets more expensive to do so, that's going to put a halt to that. And so these tariffs that are coming in, and now the threat is that if there isn't an agreement, that they're actually going to go up as of the 1st of January. So there's tariffs that have started now, and those are now being threatened to go up as the 1st of January, as we see that coming forward.
Okay. We want to get your opinion on this, too. Canadian Tire is warning of a recent breach of its customer database. Can you give us a quick overview of what happened and what the company is recommending in terms of what customers should do about that?
Yeah, so it happened on October 2nd. And so if you made an online purchase on the Canadian Tire website, you could be affected by this data breach. It's of 150,000 customers. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it does sound like a lot, but they're saying it's not as significant. It's not like every single customer was was impacted by this, but I would highly recommend that you go in and change all your passwords that have to do with any of the Canadian Tire brands. So Canadian Tire, Party City, Marks, if you made any purchases, because a lot of information was scrubbed, was taken off, birth dates, your name and address. So there's a lot of information that in the wrong hands could really do a lot of harm. They're giving their great, the great advice that we always give. Go in, change your password, make sure it's unique, make sure it's hard to guess, and don't use the same password, especially for stores. I find that I'm guilty of this too. We'll use the same password because it's so hard to remember them. We keep our banking password difficult, but we don't care as much about these ones. So go in and change it and make it unique and different. Save it somewhere so that you don't forget.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you, Rubina.
Thank you.